Alright, I yield. That was not too bad. Hello everybody, DK Guillotine here, and welcome to my review of Transformers Netflix Kingdom, the finale of the War for Cybertron trilogy on Netflix. Now, to quickly reiterate, I was not a fan of either of the first two entries of this little series. Siege I thought was just okay, and Earthrise I thought was absolute dog shit. So, where does Kingdom land in this spectrum of okay and dog shit? Honestly, this is easily the best entry in this trilogy by far. Like, there's no contest. This is by far the best entry in this trilogy. This actually had decent episodes, some pretty good characters, some decent writing. Honestly, overall, the show wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't great, and that is just an inherent thing with this WFC trilogy. And it has all of the same issues that the other two entries had. Voice acting is a little shoddy at times, and there's some voices in here that are just atrocious, and I'll talk about those. The story, it constantly just feels like it's falling apart. There are episodes that really don't fit at all, and things just kind of happen for no reason that just don't make any sense whatsoever. And it definitely does have those issues from the first two, and I would say they aren't like completely inexcusable. Like, there really are some things in this show that I really did not care for very much. But let's start off with the things that I actually did care for a lot. And that is that this show felt like it actually did have some life to it. This particular entry in the show, I can say with 100% certainty that this is the best entry in the show. No questions asked. The characters were actually pretty good. The Maximals were actually pretty solid in my opinion. I thought they were pretty good. The only one I have negative things on is Tigatron, because his voice was so bad. Oh my god, his voice was terrible. But the other Maximals, I actually thought were pretty good. I thought the voice acting, for the most part, with the Maximals was solid, besides Tigatron. I thought Optimus Primal was good. I liked that voice a lot. That actually felt pretty good for me. Rat Trap, I thought, was pretty good. Airazor sounded pretty okay. Cheetor was okay. Rhinox was okay. The Maximals were overall solid. The Predacons, I also thought, were decent. We're going to talk about Megatron. Don't you worry. We're going to talk about Megatron. But Black Arachnia, I thought was pretty great, and they kind of did a lot of things that kind of harken back to how she was back in Beast Wars, because of course in Beast Wars she defects, she becomes a Maximal, and in this she kind of does as well, which is also pretty fun. And not only that, Dinobot. Speaking of things that they kind of try and take from the original show, from the original Beast Wars show, and kind of put it in here in this different kind of take. Dinobot, they do something very similar in that department. Now, I'm going to try and save the spoiler stuff for the end. We'll talk about all the spoiler stuff at the end of the video. I'm trying not to do no spoilers, but Dinobot really does connect himself with the original Beast Wars show, which was also pretty kind of cool to see, actually. So it actually felt like there was some thought put into this entry. But overall, I really did like the dynamic of the Maximals and the Predacons. I probably liked them overall more than the Autobots and the Decepticons, because the Autobots and Decepticons are just so generic in this show, and the voice acting is so generic. Like, every single Autobot just sounds exactly the same. There's no picking favorite characters with the Autobots and the Decepticons in this show, because there's no characters that are really stands out besides Megatron, maybe? I don't know, maybe. But the Maximals, all the Maximals actually did feel like characters. Characters that you could root for, that you liked maybe. So that was definitely really good. And Airazor is totally Iron Man. I'm just gonna say that. Airazor is absolutely Iron Man. But and also Black Arachnia might be a lesbian. I know I said I was gonna do spoilers at the end, but yeah, Black Arachnia is a lesbian. Yeah, you heard it here. But overall, I think the characters overall in the Maximals and Predacons were actually good. So that was a nice change of pace for this show. Also, the villain I didn't think was as garbage as the last villain. Oh my god, Decius was the stupidest shit ever, man. And so was the Mercenaries, and Scorponok as well, pretty much. But in this particular entry, you get Galvatron and somebody else who we'll talk about at the end of the video when we get to spoilers. But the villains were okay. It wasn't too bad. Obviously, it's still not great. This show is not great. This is not gonna be like your top tier. This is not gonna be in the top tier of Transformers media with animated and Prime and Beast Wars, dude. It's not even close. but it was okay. It really was okay. Like it was okay in a much more okay definition than Siege, basically. I would say like Siege is a 5 out of 10. I would say this show is probably like a 7 out of 10 overall. It really did have some things going for it besides just being really generic like the other two. Overall it was enjoyable. Most of the time it was enjoyable. There were some episodes of the show that I just don't understand what the fuck the thought process was. Like the episode 4, I think maybe it might have been episode 3. I don't know. The episode with all the fucking Allspark illusions. When they're in that when Optimus goes into the temple. You know what? Fuck it. We're doing spoilers now. I don't care. We're just spoilers. I'm doing spoilers. I don't care anymore. You shouldn't be watching this video if you haven't watched the show. So, anyway. It's the episode where Optimus goes into that little temple thing, and there's the little illusion of Elita 1, and then it becomes Ultra Magnus. That entire episode, I was so confused. The entire episode, like what on earth happened there? Like they get the whole the first half of the episode, Optimus is trying to get into the temple. He gets into the temple. Primal gets in there too in this really bullshit way, and then bullshit way it just continues this entire thing. The way that Optimus Prime beats Megatron in here, I could not have been more confused. Like, I have no idea what happened. It was so weird. He gets this vision of Elita 1, and Elita 1's like, you have to surrender to Megatron in order to beat him. And then he gives him the Matrix. Megatron goes into the temple to get the Allspark, and he runs into this, like, vision thing of him, like, falling through the floor, like Toy Story 2. And it was so weird. And then they get out of the temple, and Megatron's just fine right there with the other Megatron. Like, what the fuck was all of that about? What on earth was that? Like, that episode was just so weird. I have no idea what happened. I was so confused. If anybody knows what on earth any of that transpiring events was about, please let me know, because I'm so confused. I don't get it at all. And it was just really fucking weird, dude. But after that, I'm pretty sure that was episode 4. Episode 5 picked it back up, in my opinion. Like, I liked episode 1 a lot. Episode 1 was cool. It introduced all the Maximals and the Predacons, and that was pretty cool. Episode 2 pretty much just kind of continued that. We got to spend some time with Airazor and kind of have that thing going on. Get to meet Black Arachnia. She's kind of talking with Starscream. They form kind of an alliance overall. And then episode 3, they start looking for the Allspark to get these illusions and whatnot, which was kind of cool. And is that the one? I think that's the episode where Dinobot. Okay, so once again, no spoilers. I'm just not no spoilers. Spoilers are coming. I don't care. If you haven't watched the show, you probably won't watch it. Dinobot dies in this just like he does in Beast Wars, and it was pretty cool overall. Like, I don't want to seem like I'm hating on Dinobot. I'm a huge Dinobot fan. I love Dinobot. But I will say this, though. I don't like his voice. His voice was god-awful. They really should have switched Tigatron's voice and Dinobot's voice. Like, I have no idea what happened there. But I liked what happened with Dinobot. He kind of did feel like a vague representation of the great Dinobot from Beast Wars. He kind of had that honor thing going on, and he would always do the right thing, and in the end, he did the right thing. And just like in Beast Wars, he sacrificed himself in order to do the right thing, which was pretty cool. And it was kind of a nice nod back to Beast Wars. It really did feel like a nice wrap-up for Dinobot overall. So episode 3, I thought, was solid overall. And then episode 4, this is the weak one. Episode 4 is the weak episode of this show. It's not good. I don't like episode 4. But episode 5 picks it back up. I thought episode 5 was actually solid. It was, they kind of, the wars start going on. It's the alliance of the Maximals and the Autobots, and they're fighting the alliance of the Decepticons and the Predacons. And it kind of comes to a good head in this episode, because we get to see, so the Nemesis comes. They attack the Ark because the Ark is trying to get away, because Optimus has the Allspark now from last episode somehow. Once again, I have no idea. I don't fucking know. And he goes into, and the Nemesis comes to take the Decepticons come to take the Allspark back and beat him. And then the Ark comes to life, like the Titan class figure, which is really exciting. Hope I can get me one of those soon. But it was really cool. And honestly, I think the ending of episode 5 was pretty darn satisfying, actually. And it kind of felt like a good ending for the show. And I was a little worried when we started episode 6 that it wasn't going to be able to top that, because this show is, like, just not overall all that good. But, let's talk about episode 6 now. So episode 5, solid. Picked it back up, in my opinion. And episode 6, Also solid, but shoddy. Very kind of shoddy because the whole episode, it's like that fucking, it's like the season finale of The Walking Dead season 9 when it's just, they're just going through a snowstorm and nothing happens for so long, and I was just like so shocked. But unlike that god-awful episode of The Walking Dead, something actually happens at the end of this one, and it actually was a good payoff in my opinion. The actual ending of the show was cool. It's the whole alliance of the Maximals, the Predacons, the Autobots, and the Decepticons fighting against Galvatron and Nemesis Prime, and kind of, I guess, the forces of Unicron, I guess, is kind of what it was. It was pretty cool to see all that go down. It was actually, the fight was actually somewhat fun to watch. There was some decent choreography in there. It wasn't just punch, punch, dodge, punch. No, it actually had some decent movements in there. The guns actually felt like they maybe did something this time around and not just fucking paintballs when they want to be and giant bazookas when they also want to be. Like, it actually felt like this show did fix a lot of the issues that the other two entries had, but it still had a lot of the issues that the other two entries had. Overall, Kingdom is, bar none, the best entry of this trilogy. There is no contest whatsoever. Like, it is so much better than Siege. It is so much better than Earthrise. Way better than Earthrise. But it's still not like an amazing show that you need to go run out and see. It still has a lot of issues. That whole episode 4, I'm just so confused with that entire episode. Like, I have no idea what the fuck was going on throughout that entire episode. And I still don't, and I probably won't watch this again, so whatever. The point is, I'm glad that this show was able to wrap up on a high note, because this is a high note overall. The ending of the show was a high note, so at least it was able to stick the landing with a little bit of wobbly here and there, but that is definitely something I will take over a garbage ending, like over another garbage entry like Siege and Earthrise. So overall, final thoughts on Netflix Kingdom is it's solid, I guess. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it is solid. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's not gonna go up there with the best Transformer shows anytime soon. But it wasn't bad, honestly. It really wasn't bad. And if you haven't been watching these because you've heard they're so terrible, maybe give Kingdom a try. Especially if you like Beast Wars, because there's a lot of Beast Wars fan service in here that you might dig. So there you go. It's over. We are done with the Netflix War for Cybertron trilogy. And I can't wait to see what's coming next. It was a little teaser at the end of the show for maybe what's coming next. I don't know. It wasn't much of a teaser, but it was kind of showing that things are going to continue somewhere. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to follow along this continuity. I kind of hope they don't, though. I kind of hope we get a better show. Like, let's go back to when we were getting good TV, good Transformers media, like Prime and animated. Like, yeah. But overall, it was solid. It was honestly solid. I would give, like I said earlier, I would give this show a 7 out of 10. Alright guys, there you have it. Those are my thoughts on Kingdom. I'm sorry I wasn't all that, like, into it. I really wasn't all that into it. I really just watched this show because I needed, because, you know, I'm a Transformers fan. I kind of owe it to myself to watch Transformers media and, you know, talk to you guys about it. But I really didn't hate it overall. I really didn't hate it. I hated episode 4, but other than that, I didn't hate it. Had some fun stuff in there, so yeah, not bad. Once again, 7 out of 10, like I said earlier. Not too bad. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. I got some videos coming up for you guys. A little teaser for you guys. I finally got Kingdom Scorponok, and I'm very excited to review him because I really like him. And after that, we'll probably hit you with the Wave 3 ranking, which is pretty exciting. I also got this dude, so he'll be coming soon as well. He's pretty fun. I like him a lot. But yeah, just a little teaser for anybody who actually stuck around to the end, because you guys are the best. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. DK Guillotine, signing out.